Okay, I'm going to talk about 3 more phrases here in chapter 3. So the first one I want to talk about is what success looks like is. So this can be used a lot of different ways, but I would just get in the habit of saying that at the beginning of any project or an initiative or anything that you're doing when you're a leader, when you're in charge. So before we get started, I just want to define what success looks like with this. So I'm beginning with the end in mind. So for this project, what success looks like, we have everything clean and clear. The customer is going to be really into the details on this one. So we need to, and then you lay out what exactly success looks like. You paint a picture. If you can literally draw a picture of it or come up with a picture of what the end result should look like, whether it's a design or a drawing or a rendering, use AI to make it or whatever, that's even better. Get everybody clear on what success looks like. Another way you can do this if you're not in charge and someone is describing a project and going through all of the tasks that need to be done, you can raise your hand and say, can you tell us exactly what success would look like here. Tell us what the end result is. So say that however it's comfortable with you, but you're really trying to get an idea of what success looks like. So if someone isn't saying it, you can ask. But it's also, if you're in a group where a lot of people, maybe there's not one person in charge and you're just debating something, this can happen all the time. It's not a formal meeting. But you can say is, okay, let's agree on what success looks like here. What are we trying to accomplish? So really you're beginning with the end in mind, which is one of the 7 habits of highly effective people. And so I think that's why I like this one. I love that book, and this helps get there. So another one on the list is let's get specific. So this is another one. You might be with a group of people and you're talking about a lot of things. Oh yeah, I'll handle that, or I'm gonna do this, and it kind of ends up being vague. So that's when you say is, you definitely want to do this. The sooner that you start doing this, the better. If you walk out of a meeting, in your mind, people know what's going on or know what they're doing, and they might even know what they're doing, but don't take it seriously. So if you say, let's get specific. Jim, you're gonna have XYZ by next Tuesday. Cindy, you're gonna have this done by tomorrow. I'm gonna handle this. So you're very specific on your expectations, not just clear on the tasks. And the expectations might be exactly what you need done, and most importantly, when you expect to have it done. So clear timelines. Another one that you might as well just get used to, because I think any manager that's had, went to business school or has had any management training is going to say this at some point, but it's progress over perfection. So that applies to a lot of things that you're working on. So if you're on a project or you're putting together something, especially if it's new to a customer, like if you're writing a book, not that you're writing a book a lot, but you want to go put out something that people can react to. Say it's you need to do an initial design concept for somebody. It's that concept doesn't need to be perfect. You just need progress. So let's get something together. Let's get something on paper. Let's take a look at it, because we're probably going to revise it anyway. And so I think that's a big one. You can spend a lot of time trying to get everything perfect, and maybe you're doing that because you want to feel like you're doing a good job or feel like you've thought everything through. But I think in most cases, depending on what it is, I think when you're younger or you're just coming out, you might be at a level where you're asked to do very specific tasks. And so that's where you could just do that task perfectly. So if you have to clean a floor, you don't have to, it's not progress, it's just clean the floor perfectly, which means make sure it's not dirty when you're done. It's not saying, okay, well, I'll get it somewhat dirty and then someone can look at it and tell me to clean it better. So that's a case where just make it perfect from the beginning, meaning just hit the standard from the beginning. But if you're on a bigger project, or you're trying to convey an idea or get to a final result where there's other people involved, it's really just coming out with, okay, here's a bunch of ideas, it's not perfect, but now let's all react to it and kind of go from there. So if you're doing, say, a home renovation for a customer, you might not go in there with every little screw figured out and every little paint color figured out, but you'll go in there and say, okay, here's the concept of what we're trying to do here. Let the customer react, because you're probably going to change things along the way anyway. So progress over perfection, I think it just keeps people moving along, gets people, they say that perfection is a form of procrastination, because people are saying, this isn't, I'm not done with this because it's not perfect yet. But in most cases, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to. We just need something to see, something to react to, so that we can, the team can add their contribution. So, that's one. I think they define it really well here in the podcast, and then we do a pretty good job of it in the text. So, those are the three that I think they just happen to be the last three on the list. But those are three. Progress over perfection. You might as well understand that one, because you're probably going to hear it a lot, and the rest are just really good too. So, all right, see you all in chapter 4.